Inside, Whisper, the 95-meter tech billionaire palace at sea. Imagine cruising past a line of super yachts in the Mediterranean, sleek white hulls, glass decks, soft silhouettes, and then one profile just dominates everything else. Dark hull, sculpted lines, twin helipads, a long pool glowing on the aft deck. Somewhere on board is one number that quietly separates rich from truly ridiculous wealth. We'll come back to that number near the end. Welcome to Whisper, the 95-meter Lurssen super yacht that used to be called Kismet and now belongs to former Google CEO Eric Schmidt. What started life as a billionaire NFL owner's Dreamboat has become one of the most impressive tech world toys on the ocean. This is not just a yacht. It is a floating entertainment platform, a private resort, and a moving symbol of how software money turns into steel, glass, and marble. From Kismet to Whisper. Whisper began life in 2014 at Lürssen's German shipyard under a different name, Kismet. Built for Jacksonville Jaguars owner Shahid Khan. At about 95.2 meters long, roughly 312 feet, with a beam of around 13.8 meters and close to 3,000 gross tons of volume, she was designed from day one to be a showpiece. Espen Øino penned the exterior, all sharp curves and tiered decks, while Reymond Langton delivered an interior that has been described as Louis XIV meets high-end boutique hotel. For nearly a decade, Kismet played host to celebrities, charter clients, and even a Netflix film shoot. Then, the story shifted. In 2023, the yacht quietly changed hands, leaving the NFL world and entering the tech billionaire ecosystem. Eric Schmidt bought her, gave her a new name, Whisper, and started using her as both a private escape and a very public symbol. In a sea full of anonymous white ships, this one suddenly had a new narrative. The search engine era's answer to old-money ocean liners. Power, range, and the way she moves. Underneath the glamour, Whisper is a serious machine. She rides on a steel hull with an aluminum superstructure built as a full-displacement yacht designed to cross oceans in comfort, not just do loops around Monaco. Two Caterpillar 3516C diesels live in a towering engine room, each delivering well over 2,600 horsepower. Together they push Whisper to a top speed of around 17 knots, with a comfortable long-range cruising band in the 12 to 14 knot zone. At those economical speeds, Whisper can stretch out to roughly 6,000 to 7,000 nautical miles on a tank. In practical terms, that means you can leave the south of France, cross the Atlantic, play in the Caribbean for a while, and still have margin before you think seriously about fuel. More recently, the yacht picked up a large battery pack to handle some of the hotel load, which makes those long nights at anchor a little quieter, a little cleaner, and a lot more in line with the Whisper branding. From my point of view, that blend of old-school diesel muscle with modern energy storage is exactly what the next generation of big yachts is going to look like. Not fully green, but smarter about where the noise and emissions actually happen. Life on board, pools, helipads, and a fire in the sky. Specs are cool, but Whisper's reputation was built on how she feels to live on. Start with the decks. Whisper stacks 6 expansive levels above the waterline, linked by a glass elevator. On the aft upper decks you find one of her signatures, a long pool with an integrated jacuzzi, surrounded by sun pads, loungers, and an outdoor bar. The pool does double duty, acting as a skylight for spaces below and creating that cinematic shot you see in so many yacht photos. Infinity water above the sea itself. Then there are the helipads. Whisper carries not one, but two, one of which can transform into a basketball court when there's no chopper on board. That detail alone tells you what kind of client she was built for. People who treat a half-court game at sea as just another afternoon option. Inside, the yacht leans hard into high-gloss luxury. You get a full spa with massage rooms, a hammam, sauna, and beauty spaces, a proper gym, and a large cinema for late-night movies. One of my favorite details is the outdoor fireplace built into one of the upper decks, where guests can sit under the stars with a real flame going while the yacht glides through the dark. There's even an observation deck with an outdoor bed, designed specifically for stargazing far from city lights. Owner's World. Guest life and crew behind the curtain. Whisper wasn't built to cram bodies on board. She was built to make a relatively small group feel absurdly well taken care of. Depending on the configuration, she can accommodate up to 16 guests in 8 staterooms or 12 in 7 suites for charter, with a crew of around 27 to 28 people. The owner's domain runs across a dedicated deck with a private suite, office space, enormous bathroom, and its own outdoor areas, including a jacuzzi. The master bedroom opens onto floor-to-ceiling glass, so waking up feels less like being in a hotel room and more like floating above the ocean. Guests get a mix of VIP and guest cabins, many with their own balconies and huge windows that cut deep into the hull. The design language is bold: dark woods, rich stone, sculptural staircases, dramatic lighting. You also get a blend of very formal spaces, dining rooms that could easily host a black-tie dinner, and relaxed hangouts like the Sky Lounge, outdoor bar areas, and the beach club-style stern. Behind all of that, a large crew runs the operation. Captains, engineers, stewards, chefs, spa staff, helicopter handlers, deckhands, security, and more. When a yacht like this feels effortless to you as a guest, that just means dozens of people are working very hard off-camera. Key specs and the cost of keeping her alive. On paper, Whisper is a 95.2-meter Lurssen with a 13.8-meter beam, a draft just under 4 meters, and a volume of about 2,928 gross tons. She's built in steel and aluminum, carries twin Caterpillar 3516C engines, cruises around 14 knots, and can push out to thousands of nautical miles on a single load of fuel. She's packed with a spa, cinema, gym, twin helipads, glass elevator, big pool, hot tub, outdoor fireplace, and a stargazing deck. Financially, she plays in the big leagues. When Kismet was on the market before becoming Whisper, the asking price hovered around the $150 to $160 million mark, and independent estimates have long put her value closer to $200 million once you factor in fit-out and customization. In the superyacht world, there's a simple rule of thumb: expect to spend around 10% of the yacht's value every year just to keep it alive. Apply that here, and you're talking about something like $15 to $20 million a year in operating costs. That covers crew salaries, fuel, maintenance, insurance, yard periods, repainting, interior refreshes, and the never-ending stream of upgrades. If the owner actually uses Whisper, say 60 to 70 days a year, you are very comfortably into the $250,000 per day zone, or well into 5 figures for every single hour the yacht is fully running. For those of us not named on billionaire lists, there's the charter route. Weekly rates sit in the neighborhood of $1 million to $1.4 million once you convert from euros and add taxes and expenses. At a charity auction, a single week on board even went for several $1 million. That's the number I teased at the start. Not the build cost, but the price of just one ultra-elite week of this life. Whisper versus the rest of the billionaire fleet. Whisper lives in the same neighborhood as monsters like Dilbar, Eclipse, and Koru, but she plays a slightly different game. She's not the very biggest on the water, but she might be one of the best balanced entertainment platforms out there. 2 helipads, a serious spa, a dramatic interior, that long pool, basketball court, cinema, and enough deck space to host parties that look like movie scenes. She also carries a unique story. This is a yacht that went from NFL owner to tech billionaire, from being featured in celebrity vacations and films to hosting figures from Silicon Valley and beyond. In a way, she's the perfect symbol of where the top of the luxury world has moved. From old industrial fortunes to software, platforms, and data, all condensed into a 95-meter shadow on the water. Your turn. What would you do first on Whisper? So here's the question I want to put to you. If someone handed you one fully paid week on Whisper, where would you go first? Would you hit the aft pool and watch the tenders buzz around below you? Step onto the helipad and imagine arriving straight from a private jet? Spend a whole evening by the outdoor fireplace under the stars? Or take over the cinema and run your own film festival at sea? Maybe you'd just find that observation bed, lie down, and try to process the fact that an hour of this experience costs more than most people's cars. Tell me in the comments what your first move on Whisper would be and who you'd bring with you. I read what you write, and your ideas genuinely help decide which yachts, jets, mansions, and luxury toys we break down next here on Luxury Living Detective. If you enjoyed stepping inside this tech billionaire palace at sea, tap the like button so YouTube knows to show you more ultra-luxury deep dives. If you're new here and you love super yachts, private jets, mega mansions, and real billionaire lifestyles, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you want to go even deeper and support the channel at the same time, you can join the channel with the join button and become part of our inner circle of luxury-obsessed viewers. If this video made you dream bigger, or maybe laugh nervously at those running costs, you can also use Super Thanks to directly support the channel and help us keep unlocking the wildest stories from the world of extreme luxury. Thanks for watching Luxury Living Detective. I'll see you in the next video, where we open another door into a life that most people only ever see from far away.